I'm here today to talk about an essay I wrote for my graphic design class. We were told to choose a topic that was a social issue that meant a lot to us, and we also have to create a poster for it along with an essay. Originally, I wanted to write about the legalization of pot. My teacher told me the subject was off limits because it was inappropriate for school. But I convinced him that I was not out just to tell people to go get high and party, and that this was a serious issue that needed to be looked at. After writing some of my essay, he looked at it and decided that I could go further on with the project. While I'm reading the essay, I will put up the poster that I made so you can look at it while I'm reading and not have to look at me reading, which is pretty boring. And I apologize ahead if I stutter a little bit because reading out loud is kind of hard for me.
Legalization of pot for the free will of people. The legalization of marijuana is more about just being able to get high. It's about the free will to choose what goes in your own body and the freedom to choose what you do with yourself as long as you aren't imposing on the freedom of others. The idea that the government can tell you what to do with your body and free time seems totalitarian to me. People should be able to choose what they put in their own bodies. If they want to smoke pot, they should be able to. No government or society should be allowed to dictate that. Imagine if the government decided that soda was too harmful for our bodies and banned it. If that happened, people would see that their freedoms are being taken away and stand up. So why aren't people doing that with this cause? Well, the main reason is there is a social stigma with pot. It's supposed to be a drug for lazy people with no ambition. While this is mainly a stereotype, it hasn't helped pot become legal. If pot is illegal because it harms your body, then why isn't beer still illegal? If the sole cause for the ban of pot is to keep us healthy, then why isn't junk food banned? Mainly because they just can't get away with it. Does pot really harm the people not smoking it? Does it even harm the smoker? There are several arguments, but there have been no recorded deaths directly from using pot. In fact, pot is completely medicinal. Take a look at California and their dispensers. It helps cancer patients along with several other problems like severe migraines, scoliosis, PMS, depression, social anxieties, and so much more. It also brings in more cash and boosts the economy. So why is something so helpful being banned? It really boils back down to that social stigma again. If pot were legalized, crime wouldn't go away, but a pretty big dent would be made. Everything about pot is illegal. Buying it, selling it, smoking it is all illegal and will land you in jail. There are also petty murders and robberies because of pot. For example, there are cases of drug dealers and gang leaders that will kill someone for not paying or ripping them off somehow. If it were legal, there would be no reason to go to the streets to buy it. Our jails would also clear out some because a large amount of inmates are there for using, buying, or selling pot. If these inmates who committed victimless crimes were set free, then we would have more room for murderers, rapers, and other serious crime-committing inmates. So if all these positive things come from pot, then why aren't we utilizing them? Well, it comes down to that pesky social stigma again. Ever since the 40s and 50s, there have been negative stigma towards pot. One of the big factors was because a southern black man was blamed for raping a woman while under the influence of marijuana. This was a bogus claim, but since blacks were severely discriminated, the claim took hold. Another factor is the movie Reefer Madness, which portrayed pot as being dangerous. So these false claims have led us to where we are today, when pot should merely be an individual's choice. Yes, there are some lazy people who do pot, but there are also very productive people who smoke it too. A lot of the great musicians we all admire started the songs when they were high. There have been doctors, lawyers, and other high-up people who have decided to use pot and turned out just fine. So when will the social stigma die out? No one can know for sure, but once people look at it logically and leave the stereotypes behind, they will see a different side of pot. Okay, I just wanted to follow up on something. That story about the social stigma that I gave was really vague and did happen a lot. But I could not do any research at school, or I could have possibly gotten suspended for even typing the word pot in the search engine, because that happened last year. So I'm currently doing more research, and I'm going to make a part 2 to this video. And so I hope you guys are looking forward to that, because I will go more in depth with where that social stigma came from and more of the backstory on basically everything. And once again, sorry for the stuttering. I'm just really not great at reading out loud. Bye.